In fact, very few countries outside of the EU have water quality guidelines for ecosystems. And that's a very, very important point because now we're faced with what I call a global water quality challenge. And as part of that water quality challenge, we need three things very urgently. First of all, we need to do an assessment of the world's freshwater ecosystems to find out where we stand with regards to the state of the ecosystems, with regards to their water quality, with regards to how well the freshwater ecosystems are surviving channelization and other changes going on. Secondly, along with the assessments, we need a big data push. That is, that there's a great paucity of data. We suppose that there is widespread water quality degradation, but we don't have the scientific information to act on it. Thirdly, if we want to do an assessment, and once we collect the data, we need a benchmark to know whether, in our assessment, whether water quality is in a bad condition and a threat to the ecosystems or not. And for that assessment, and in order to analyze the data, we need a benchmark, and that benchmark needs to be water quality guidelines for ecosystems that can give us some idea of the observed water quality, whether it's a threat to the ecosystems or not. I think it's more a presentation. I think what we're going to do today is to make a case for these global water quality guidelines, which are just a piece of the puzzle. But I think there's little argument that we don't need these guidelines, just like there's little argument that we don't need more data and we need an assessment to really act on the water quality challenge. The United Nations Environment Program is responsible for the nations of the world to keep the environment under review. And if you were to keep the environment under review, you'd quickly see that one of the side effects of development now, of the industrialization and the increase in material standard of living in developing worlds now, is this water pollution. And so it's really interesting. The countries in Europe and North America reached a similar stage in water pollution maybe 40 or 50 years ago. And at that time, as part of our big expansion of the economies after World War II, we started polluting our surface waters like crazy, and it took us decades to recover from it. Now, if you survey the environment of the world, you can see this is about to happen in developing countries, and that's what UNEP is concerned about. Before it really happens in developing countries, before water pollution takes over and starts threatening the inland fishery, which is an important source of food, for example, we would like to inform these developing countries that there are alternatives, that there is now ecological wastewater treatment, there's zero discharge industrial processes. There's all kinds of options available to developing countries to avoid this water pollution that were not available 40 or 50 years ago in Europe and North America when we went through this era of water pollution and destroying our surface waters.